All right, live again. A little more cheerful this time. And so, as we usually begin, with me looking at this phone. All right, guys. So, here we are. I have another beer today from the Shades Brewery once again. This time, as I mentioned in one of my other streams, I picked up a few unique flavors. And this time, we've got our main man. So, as you can see, the can on this one is a little bit strange, but I picked that one partially just because it was so strange. Also because it seemed like it was a bit of a Christmas brew, you could say. So I'm going to start by drinking this, okay? Just a little bit. It is ale brewed with cranberry and almond. Let's begin. And I'm just going to invite Instagram as well. All right, we're going to see how it goes today. Cheers, bottoms up. So, it has been quite a week. I don't know if this sound is maybe too loud. Let's turn it down, right? So, it has been quite a week, my friends. I always have a hard time beginning these streams. That's one reason why I did the select beer of the night, so I could have something to focus myself to begin in. Ooh, and I've got to say, this is good. Almond and cranberry. Turns out that belongs in beer. Okay. So, I'm not lonely anymore is the theme of today and this stream. I was a few months ago with the streams, you know. I guess that it had a little bit of a different, and I guess I'm just kind of reworking my purpose right now, frankly. So, let's rework our purpose today and say, I have some fun little tidbits for you and for me. Okay? A funny thing today is I found myself singing. Let's pause our background song for a moment. I found myself singing when I woke up today that song by Haley Williams, I'm Not Angry Anymore, an interlude of sorts. It's a bit of a retro Paramore type tune. And I found myself singing my own iteration. And it goes a little bit like this. Oh, I'm not lonely anymore. Well, sometimes I am. I don't even think of you. Well, sometimes I do. Depends on the day, the extent of all my worthless rage. But I'm not lonely anymore. So I've been singing that lately. That actually went better than I thought it would. So I kind of like that even. All right. I'm not lonely anymore, my dearest friends, and I will tell you how it happened. We'll just turn our song back on. All right. So, for those of you who have been watching the streams for a while, you may have noticed last time I was a bit sad, you could say. Well, the last time I had a little experiment for you, which I think I shall try again very soon. But for now, a continuation of something else I really like to do, which is just, talking to you. Talking to me, really, is what this is, isn't it? What do I have to say to me today? Eh? Well, let's give it a listen then, okay? So, I may have given you guys the wrong impression that maybe I wasn't really doing anything about feeling lonely or sad, you know, about this sort of depression. And I had this crystal in my brassiere to try and open my heart because this is the heart opener, as you can see there. And you could say it worked. You could say it was a confluence of things that caused me to be a happier version of me. So this crystal has been my friend. I did want to share with you guys another one, though, with a specific meaning that I've had lately. So I got that one to open my heart. I also got this one as well. It is a cherry quartz cube. A cube. Now, I picked cherry quartz specifically because it supposedly helps with anger, and I have been very angry lately. And truth be told, that song I was singing earlier about not being lonely anymore, I guess I could say that about anger too. So go figure, maybe crystals work after all, or at least the tensions behind them. Because my anger and my loneliness have dropped way down, and it took just a blink of time. I'm amazed, honestly. I guess when you set your mind to feeling better, you can really get there. And this, so my cherry quartz, the anger refiner, I call her, the builder. And I guess I just called her, calms and transforms anger, enhances personal power, boosts courage and confidence, achieves goals and builds, amplifies life force energy, prana, chi, flow, magic, alignment, mercy. I threw that one in there at the end. I don't know. I think I just really like that idea of mercy for some reason. Mercy has always been something that I thought was quite divine, you know, if anything. The act of feeling, of saying you've done enough, of forgiving, of offering what has been missing. And I feel that I have been offered what has been missing. Okay, beyond the crystals though. I I do feel like I gave you guys maybe the wrong impression that I wasn't doing anything else to get this work done, but truth be told, I'm just keeping it a little more lighthearted for the streams, you know. I'm a bit of a performer. Can't help it. My moon sign is Leo in both sidereal and tropical astrology, whichever you prefer. So that just might be why I'm such a hammy person. Performer of a sort. But last week, I kind of, it happened so subtly, and so suddenly for me. This little transition to exactly what I needed. And it was quite painful at first. It was a realization, you know, a really painful realization. Yeah, of feeling unloved, you know, of being treated burdensome rather than as the gift that I am, you know. For just needing to talk, I guess. This is why I started this. Is because I needed a space where I could be me and just have my say, whatever it be. So thank you for being here and listening. So a realization hit, an epiphany, as they say, that things weren't right, that maybe the one connection that I thought was the only one I could have, perhaps was the one blocking all of the rest of them. Because I've had this kind of internal struggle for a while, you know. I used to be more hopeful, but over the past years, I noticed myself kind of feeling less and less sure of myself in certain ways, feeling less lovable, I guess. But that's not true. I just had to remember this. A very subtle moment where another thing clicked into place. Again and again these days, where I see something I did not see before, and it changed everything that came after, you know? I've had a major shift in perspective and personal power since the beginning of the year. I'm just continuing that trend, you know? I let go of something I kind of knew that I needed to. I cried for days. Honestly, I was just trying to write and get creative ad concepts out of my brain, and I was just breaking down and crying day after day after day, just feeling this immense sadness. And I kept repeating to myself, I am so sad because I did not know what else to do about it. There was nothing to be done about it, to be honest. So I found myself just repeating to myself again and again, I am so sad. I am so sad, in between sobbing and just letting that in, you know? Because anger, honestly, is a lot easier to handle. Is a much more enjoyable emotion compared. So once I kind of let down the protective gates of anger, the sadness was there. The sadness was there. And I cried for days. I cried for days. And I said to myself, this sucks. This really, really sucks. And you know what else I did is I just prayed because I didn't have any other idea of what to do, to be honest. Just ask whatever benevolent forces that may be to please help me feel better. Please. So I did some nice things for myself over the weekend. I opened the gates. I said to myself, you think nobody will like you. You think nobody will connect with you. You think you can't talk to anybody because I have such a specific way. Sometimes it's just hard to connect, if you know what I mean. On that, like, real level, you know? But then I thought, well, you never know, you know? Every time I've asked for help, I've gotten what I needed. So why not this time? I thought. So over the weekend, I spent the weekend in Mara, which is the summer in Mara, which is a game. It's a farming sort of crafting sort of adventure dialogue driven game, and I quite like it quite a bit actually. Sailing the high seas, visiting the islands, farming some stuff on your farm, but really the dialogues are what shine through. I consider making a review. We'll see. But for now, the short answer is the game feels like a game from another era. It's the farming and other controls can be quite clunky. It's glitchy as can be. You get all kinds of um, I've experienced all kinds of strangeness and cutscenes and things. But I actually think that's a charming thing about the game, which actually has some pretty bad reviews, probably because the pacing is a bit slow and it is a bit glitchy. So it's a game for the patient, that's for sure. And the people who think that little moments of charming dialogue in between running around back and forth between the islands is worth it. And for me, it is because the dialogue and the story is just so charming. It made me feel very magical and very free. It really took me away as I played that game for pretty much 2 straight days. The only thing keeping me happy. And a twist and a turn, you know, sped that turn along. Sometimes you just need to relax. Oh, it was also technically a holiday um, where I am. It's a local holiday called Pioneer Day. But if you aren't of the local religion, which is what the holiday is for, they call it Pie and Beer Day. So I had a little pizza pie and a little beer for my Pie and Beer Day. Played some Summer in Mara on my Nintendo Switch Lite. I do love it. And yeah, it did cheer me up. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I guess if nothing else, it distracted me and filled my heart full of beautiful things. From the very beginning of the game, you meet Yaya Haku and her stoic wisdom, and the stoic wisdom of her humanitarian values just stirred something in me, you could say. The game has this theme that I quite like as well, that some people may seem not very nice, maybe a little bit grumpy, but that sometimes those people just need a little extra love. But the game does say there's a difference between those people and the true ones that have the bad intentions. And it says, you'll know when you see them. And I like that. I'm not sure how true that is, to be honest. But I like that idea that most people you meet are just lonely or distraught and needing a little kindness or patience, you know? Because the main character, like, another part of the game that I actually really like is that there's not a lot of reward to the game, to the system. In fact, most of the time for the first part of the game, you barely get anything. And yet the main character continues on. She doesn't mind, honestly. She just keeps going on with the quests, reward or no, thank you or no. Because sometimes when you help someone, you won't get a thing, not a smile, not a kindness, but you must carry on. The bravery with which the main character, Koa, continues on in the face of trickery and unkindness. It was really inspiring, honestly. Reminded me of a younger version of me who wasn't quite so jaded, you could say. And she's still here. She's still in me. She's just been re-sparked so suddenly. So I played the weekend in Mara and I made some silly offerings. And I find that whatever being is watching over me, whoever that person is, has kind of an interesting sense of humor because she or he or it or them, whatever benevolent being may be watching, seems to respond best when I'm being a little funny, seems to respond best to offerings and requests that are a little bit silly, that don't take themselves too seriously. So, silly offerings I made, and some prayers, and I talk to the deities as if I were talking to a friend, like this, and they seem to respond with a laugh because I made a very fervent request for some help with my loneliness. And I just opened it up and I trusted this. And if I didn't have my answer the very next day, and the thing that's best about it is it was me taking my power back in my hands, you see. Because at this point, I had found some people to chat with, some new folks, But what I was missing was that true love, you know, from someone you know. So I was sad again. Let's see. I suppose it was late Sunday evening. 1:30 in the morning. So I guess technically Monday morning. I see my friend suddenly hops on to her own Switch, playing her own game, her own island adventure game. And this spark in my heart lights up, and I'm like, oh, Gina is also up. Maybe I should send her a message. Maybe she's sad too, you know? Maybe that's why she's up as late as she is playing a game right now. So, I normally don't like to reach out this way because I feel like I'm bothering people. I feel burdensome or annoying, you know, like nobody would want to talk to me. But I took up the moment anyway, and I was like, I'm going to follow this. I'm going to follow this instinct and this moment in my heart. And I reached out and I texted her and I said, hi, I saw that you were online and I just wanted to make sure you were doing okay, you know, since you were up so late. I thought maybe you might be a little bit sad like me, trying to cheer yourself up. And yeah, she responds, and she responded in a very lovely way too. She said, oh, yeah, she says, I noticed you as well. Well, I noticed you too. And she says, yeah, it's kind of nice, isn't it? It's like seeing lights on in the houses. And I like that analogy very much. That it is kind of like that, you know, to see someone active in the distance, like a light on in their house. I thought that was a very lovely and poetic way to put that. And so we reconnected, and it was really nice, you know. I was able to open up to someone about how I've been feeling since I haven't really felt like I could do that with anyone, since I tend to keep all of my stuff to myself, as mistrusting as I am sometimes, or have become, or have become. But that was it. The opening that cracked open the rest. Because then the very next day, more came my way. It's like sometimes when you tell the universe you're ready, it gives you what you ask for. Maybe. Or at least I like to think so anyway. How it seems to me in my life. Because the very next day, my sister messaged me getting me to join this this thing called Marco Polo, not the 13th century traveler and adventurer, but a rather boomerific type app. It's basically like Snapchat, only lamer, I guess. I like it more personally because basically it's like tagging back and forth with video messages. You send each other video calls and you just talk about your day and you answer and you send it back, you know? And I like that it's not a normal social media where there's all of your friends list on there and then you've got all of your everybody, you know, piling on. With this one, it's a little more, you know, catered, your inner circle, you know? Yeah. So I like that. So my sisters added me, And I think to myself that this is actually really good, you know, since video chatting seems to be the only way I can connect with anyone these days. Why not take it there? You know, might make me feel better to get a response every once in a while, maybe. I kind of wanted to show it to you guys. I think I will even here. So this is the app because I wanted to show you. I just thought it would be really funny. So when you open it up, there's like this bot that you can chat with, this Marco Polo bot. And at first I thought, so maybe I'll just, I don't know, maybe I'll just show you guys that just to get, just for fun.
And I'm one of the founders. Marco Polo is a video chat for busy people. And to feel like you're together, even when you're separated by. And the way that it works is you take turns talking. You talk when you have time. If your loved one is there, they can watch live. If not, no problem. Polo messages are saved and they can watch them later. Go ahead and give it a try. When I stop talking, press start to talk, press stop to finish, and then I'll reply automatically.
There's me.
Hi, thanks so much for making your nice app. It sure was brilliant of you.
Hey, awesome. That was your first Polo message. Now, go out and invite your loved ones to join you on Marco Polo, or keep practicing with me here, and I'll keep sending you automated but very fun tips.
Thanks, Polo Bot. You know, that actually does sound nice. I didn't think I would do that, but I'll keep chatting with you.
Once you stop recording, there are a few different things you can do with your Polo, and I asked my friend Megan to show us those.
So that's the basic gist of that. I think I will continue talking to the Polo bot just because sometimes talking to a bot is fun. But the other reason I wanted to pull this up today is I did send a Polo to my sisters earlier that I was rather fond of and I wanted to share with you all. So here's that.
Hi, guys. Messaging you again from a slightly different location this time. Just going for a little afternoon walk to get some more creative juices flowing. And this the Salt Lake City grave has been one of my special places the entire time that I've lived here, and this grave in particular, to the unknown dead, has always left a good impression on me. Are there any special places in your guys' hometown that you like to retreat to? A special place, maybe of some significance, whatever that means for you. Because I feel like this graveyard has been here for me the whole time, and all the spirits therein, particularly the unknown. So I just wanted to share this spot with you while I was here. And that is the question of the day, since it is my turn. What special places do you have, or have you found in your hometown? Bye. Talk to you soon.
So I took a little break on my run today, my walk. I guess I didn't run too much today. But I visited that grave, the grave of the unknown dead, because those are some recurring spirits I've been talking to or giving offerings to. Just trying to connect, with something beyond, whatever that means. So there are these coins that have been lined up. Somebody put them there a while ago, and ever since, periodically I'll go and I will tend to the coins. It was very windy the other day, so they were all splayed all over. So I lined the coins up and I had found another one on my walk up there. So I added that to their coin line. And yeah, I feel like, I don't know, maybe it sounds a bit strange, but I've been asking the unknown to help me as I have felt so alone and unknown for so long. And I feel like they've been doing it, you know. They've been helping me along because I'm in a whole different position than I was when I started, you know, visiting that grave and that graveyard. It's one of my personal connections with spirit or the divine, or perhaps with just my imagination, however you want to look at it. So I made another visit as I don't know how much longer I'll be here, you know, this close. I'm not really sure. I feel like there's something else on the horizon for me soon, somewhere else to move on. Whoa. Random sound just happened over there. It's always strange when things like that happen, you know? But this place is haunted, so, you know, I've had my experiences. I've told you in the past, I believe. The bathroom door opening on its own, and the faucets turning on and off. Very strange, I gotta say. And that's just why I personally believe in spirits and things, because I've had really weird stuff, like things like that I just cannot physically explain happen before my very eyes. So I just have to admit that something weird is going on here. You don't have to believe me, that's fine, but what I saw. And that's why part of the reason. So I've been very lonely, but I'm not anymore. In fact, I've almost got too many people to talk to now. Is a handful of which I can connect to. And that's all I've been looking for, you know? And sometimes you put barriers in place for yourself that don't need to be there, I learned. Sometimes the thing that you think is helping you most is the thing that's holding you back, you know? All I know is I feel very different right now. And it only took a week. Instead of feeling sad, there's this spark in me. It's awakened again, you know? I'm not afraid to be me, you know? I know more who I am. What more can you ask than that, you know? Well, I guess if you're me, you can ask for lots of things every day to the divine and say, please help me. Admittedly. But it's a little bit different when you're also helping yourself, you know? And I think they know when you're giving your offerings and you're doing your work, it comes together. It does. Oh, and oh, the work I have been doing, you know. Some of the biggest work I've been doing lately is just the work of my heart. But the bullet journal does continue. My health tracker, it's almost full. Here's a little prayer card of sorts that I wrote. Dear Big, that's my name for God. It's just, I don't know. It's just a personal connection. Big, little. Get what I'm saying? Help me create something that can heal me and people like me. Dear angels and other friends with the best intentions, because I like to be specific. You never know who's listening in. So I'm almost done with that. And once I'm amazed that I filled out this whole health tracker. It was supposed to be a daily health tracker, but I turned each page into a week of health stuff. Like, look at this. I mean, I know that I've showed you in the past, but whatever. Just a reminder. Look at all those check boxes. That's stuff like, meditation and water and vitamins and veggies and exercise and journaling and anything else I'm keeping track of. Still been writing in my personal journal as well, my blank book journal, where I just write whatever I want. And I have something else, a little preview for you guys. For those of you who stayed till the end, you may be familiar with my ink things and how I sort of temporarily abandoned them. I didn't mean to do that, but some interpersonal and just blockages were revealed as things began to shift and change. And I found myself being bashful. I found myself being shy. I found myself feeling like nobody would like me if I continued on that way. I don't know why. I guess because I found myself as I changed this year and grew into a clearer version of who I am and what I know. I guess my message changed and my purpose changed, and the people that I thought I would connect with changed, and I wasn't sure how I'd be received from now on. But I have been doing more art. I actually have quite a bit of more art to do, but I made a little series of ink things that I'll just preview. So thank you for 200 followers, because that was my first Instagram goal. And I hit it. I'm over that, really. I haven't even posted in a while, and people still keep following me. So if anybody wants to know if like hashtagging and being active and stuff actually works for growing your audience, it actually does. And once you prime the pump, it will actually keep going as long as you're at least like active and like liking things and adding to your story. I learned that. I thought that if I stopped posting, I would stop growing, but not so. So I'm curious to see how it goes when I latch back in this time, if maybe that grows. Here's another little one that I made, just doing a little preview of my ink things to come before I wrap things up. I like this guy, actually. He's probably my favorite of the ones that I made. I always like the weird characters, so I should do that more because that makes me very happy. Cube Guy says hi. Love your layers. This one's it's just kind of a simple, I don't know. Like, that's why I like my art, Or that's why I like doing these, because they don't have to be too fancy. They're just like fun for me. So I need to do this along with add more monsters. That's just a fun little scene. How to let a heavy heart fly again. Umbrella pad. I think that one's really fun. I made that one quite a while back. And this one too, actually. And this one. Made those ones quite a while back. I got these index cards because I thought it might be a good way to encourage myself to get back into the ink thing spirit. Instead of taking it so seriously in my art notebook, I thought if I just did it this way to start myself back up, it might encourage some spontaneity and to resist the tendency towards unnecessary perfection. So there's a preview for you guys, and I think I will end this stream the way that it began, with a cheers. Cheers, beers. To our main man, whoever that ends up being. Cheers to him. And cheers to every single last one of you listening. In fact, double cheers to you. And cheers to me too. All right. Thank you for being here. To see me not lonely anymore. So we'll end with the song again, maybe. Sounds like a good answer. Oh, I'm not lonely anymore, but sometimes I am. I don't even think of you. Well, sometimes I do. I'll keep thinking of you. Thank you. And if you're lonely, like me, I hope soon you find something to make you happy. I hope your heart breaks open and sparks. Because you deserve it. You deserve it, my friend.